I never imagined a single night could change everything. The rooftop of the luxury hotel in Tokyo glowed under strings of golden lights. Music and laughter floated through the night air, mixing with the faint scent of champagne and expensive perfume. The crowd sparkled, a sea of beauty, wealth, and sophistication. Everyone seemed so alive, so untouchable. And yet, I felt completely invisible. I tried to laugh along with my friends, but each giggle felt hollow. I was an outsider in this world, a stranger to the rhythm of the glittering city. That is when I noticed him. Aaron, the young CEO whose name people whispered with awe, stood apart from the crowd. He had long, dark hair falling effortlessly past his shoulders and eyes that seemed to carry the weight of the world. His tailored suit and confident smile hid a loneliness that no applause could mask. I had never seen anyone look so alive and so weary at the same time. And then, by sheer accident, my heel caught on the edge of the railing. I was falling when his hand shot out, gripping my wrist just in time. "Careful," he said softly, his voice low and steady. Our eyes met. There was something unspoken between us, an invisible thread that pulled tighter with every heartbeat. "You saved me," I said, my words slurred but my gaze steady. "Or maybe you saved me," he replied with a faint smile. I was dying of boredom. For a moment, the world around us disappeared. The music, the laughter, the city lights, they all faded. It was just him and me, standing on that rooftop under the solitary moon. I leaned against the railing beside him. My head lightly brushed his shoulder, and I felt a warmth that I had not known I was missing. "Why are you looking at me like that?" I whispered. "Because you make this night feel real," he answered. The rest of the party blurred into the background. It was just us, strangers who felt familiar, bound by something neither of us could define. The next day, I was still trembling from the intensity of that encounter. I never thought he would reach out again. But he did. A simple lunch invitation. Nervous, hesitant, unsure if I belonged in his world, I agreed. When I arrived, he was waiting in a quiet corner of the restaurant. He greeted me with a gentle smile, as if nothing about the night before had been strange or awkward. "You look more yourself today," he said. "And less clumsy," I added nervously, laughing despite myself. We began talking, cautiously at first, then openly. I told him about growing up in Nairobi, about the music, the festivals, the taste of home-cooked meals, and my dreams for a life beyond the limits of my small village. I told him about my loneliness, the fear of being invisible, the hope of finding someone who could see me. He listened. Really listened. And then he shared his world with me. The pressures of his family, the weight of expectation, the loneliness hidden beneath a life of wealth and admiration. He envied ordinary lives where love was not tangled with status and perfection. Our lunches turned into long walks. Our walks turned into drives with no destination. Sometimes we would just sit in his car, parked at the edge of the city, watching the streetlights flicker across the quiet roads. I would lean my head on his shoulder, feeling his hand brush lightly against mine, and we would talk about everything and nothing. We teased each other constantly. I laughed at his clumsy attempts at Swahili, while he laughed at my broken Japanese. One evening, he pointed at a parking meter and said, "Do you know how these work?" I shook my head, giggling. "Do you?" He pretended to think hard. "I guess I will just feed it coins until it sings." I threw my head back, laughing so hard my stomach ached. That was the magic of it. In those little moments, the world disappeared, leaving only us. But the world was not kind to us. At events, people whispered, stared, and questioned why he was with me. A journalist once called me a distraction. I cried alone, feeling humiliated and small. But he was always there, holding me, whispering that my worth was not measured by others. With his support, I grew stronger. I learned, adapted, but never changed who I was. I introduced him to my culture, my music, my food. He stumbled at first, but laughed along, and together, we built a world of our own, filled with love, trust, and laughter. We spent nights exploring the city in his sleek black car. We drove past neon signs, laughing at the ridiculous karaoke bars we stumbled upon. We shared ice cream cones in the middle of empty streets, our fingers sticky but our hearts full. One night, under a sky blanketed with stars, we walked barefoot along a quiet beach. The waves lapped against our feet, and he pulled me close. "Why me?" I asked. "You could have anyone." "Because you were honest," he said. "Because you remind me what it feels like to be human. Because when I am with you, I feel free." Our love blossomed, not in grand gestures or fiery passion, but in quiet devotion, laughter, and shared moments. He became my shield against the storm, and I became his anchor, reminding him that he was more than a CEO, more than a name, more than an image. We faced resistance, family, society, even the media. But we did not falter. He stood by me publicly and privately, defending me and showing me I was worthy. I embraced his world while keeping mine, bridging cultures with patience, sincerity, and love. And then, on the rooftop where it all began, he gave me a simple, elegant ring. "Will you walk through all storms with me?" he asked. Tears filled my eyes as I whispered, "Yes. 1,000 times yes." Love is not easy. It is tested by society, by whispers, by prejudice. But real love, real love endures. It grows quietly, fiercely, and unshakably. And ours did. Years later, standing on that same rooftop with our children by our side, I understood the magic of that night. Fate had placed us together, strangers who became everything to each other. Two hearts that refused to surrender, finding home in each other. Have you ever met someone who changed everything in a single moment? Tell me your story in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss a new video.